Welcome back to the Cornabit Studio live stream. Just back at this again. Probably working on this one today. I'm so tired. I feel like I'm always making so much excuses, like saying that I'm tired, but I guess like exercising hard and bouldering hard and doing a lot of work and doing many different things like 3D, 2D stuff, tutorial stuff. My brain is just not equipped for it, I guess, at this moment, and it's getting better. Like, I'm getting stronger, and I think I can handle more workload than I did last time, so everything's good. Also because I was kind of like working many hours on the sculpt that I did yesterday, and like trying to figure out so many things that, yeah, it makes sense that I'm tired, so should be nice to myself. So I'm just going to do a chill session today. Hopefully it's chill. I'm not sure. I feel like whenever I'm painting stuff, it's so tiring on the brain. Let me see this one layer. Okay. Good news is that they just released a new album. I love them so much. Always psyched when there's a new album release. Oh, let me show you the like what I did yesterday with the sculpt. So, oh yeah, so like yesterday I was sculpting this one, and then I spent like a few hours after the stream, like on and off, like throughout the day, to figure out like what I need to do with the hair, because there are like some qualities that I like about the hair and some qualities that I don't like. Like, I prefer, it's like 50-50. Like, I prefer some parts of the old hair and I prefer some parts of the new hair. So like, I was feeling like a bit frustrated and thinking like, yeah, it was just so it was just so tiring on the brain, like trying to figure things out. Yeah, figuring things out is always so like stressful. But then because of like the hours of like just going back and forth, like looking at the new one, looking at the old, I have like the old sculpt over here. Actually, I have one of the older ones too. Like this one is the very first one that it started out from. And then, yeah, something I realized, it's like also doing work while talking on stream, and like half of my mind, I guess, like in some sense, even if I feel like I'm concentrating quite a lot on the work, it does feel quite different streaming and talking compared to just like doing my work, like just purely 100% focus on doing my work. There are a lot of things that I can see better, and one of the things that I found was that the shape of the overall hair, I didn't really like it, like how it turned out, even though I was like, oh, I'm doing this to like make it look better and all that stuff. But then when I sat down again after the stream, I was like, no, the shape of the previous hair looked better than the new one. Anyway, it's just a lot of learning points every single day on like things I can improve at and things I can do better. So it's I mean, like, there's also reflection of like, oh, I did this well and I did that not too well. So I just like to think about these kind of stuff. But anyway, the good news about the few hours of just like working really hard to try and fix the new hair is that like somehow at like, I don't know, this was like late in the night yesterday. I was and like a few hours into like fixing this one. Yeah, I was just like, it suddenly clicked in my head that if I like some parts of the new one and I like some parts of the old one for the hair sculpt, like I should just keep both. Anyway, that's what this one is. Like, look at how pretty it is. So this is the current progress of the sculpt. And then like also after I put the two sculpt, like initially this sculpt, because it's the old one that I imported into this file, initially when it was here, I was just like using it as like a comparison kind of thing. Like, let me see. Like I was just using this as comparison for this one. And then after I put them together like this, yeah, it just like suddenly like click in my head that like actually doing something like this is a lot closer to how I like to draw a lot of girls in one painting. So yeah, I guess that's like the that's like the good outcome that resulted from the hours of like just, yeah, hours of stressful hard work, I guess. So I like the look of this one, and I like that. I like with this I can keep like some of the old hair and new hair, and the two of them will have two different hairs, and I think I kind of have a plan for this hair to look quite different. Kind of like one of the paths that it took was to go to this one, and so I'm going to move this to like a different style. So yeah, I'm quite excited to try that out, but I think my brain is kind of like quite tired from working on this one, so yeah, which kind of sounds like an excuse, but then whenever I'm trying something new, it's just so tiring. Like it's so different from doing something that I would have done like 100 times. Like doing something for like doing a concept for the first time is always, it's very rewarding, but at the same time it's very tiring. My name is so pretty. Proud of myself. I'm gonna give myself a pat in the back. Yes. Yeah, I can stare at this forever. So pretty. Hello, Quanto. Is that how you pronounce your name? Thank you for tuning into the screen. Anyway, I should get back to work so that I can end the stream fast and get back to my tutorial stuff. So this one is progressing. Oops, it's too. And something nice is also like feeling like my 2D stuff and my 3D stuff is kind of like gradually meeting in the middle, which is kind of nice. Yeah. Because when it comes to 2D stuff, it's like I have this is the wrong one. I was trying out the new Procreate brushes, but I'm just going to stick with my old ones. But what's this? Yeah, of course the limitation right now is that my 2D skills is not on par with my 3D. What's this? Oh, not on par with my 3D skills. So got a lot of catch up to do. A lot of catch up so that I can do the things that I think about. And yep, let me see. Yeah, I feel like the new brushes are quite cool, but then, like, well, with the old brushes too, I guess, I realized I want to look at the official. I'm not sure whether like the official handbook has kind of like examples of how they use it and like what it's made for. So I think after the stream ends, I want to look at the different usage of it. But yeah, it's cool that there's something new to try. Actually, I was quite surprised at how tired I am today, because the previous session that I climb like I do weights training at the gym and do like climbing at the boulder walls right after that, and I do that like every alternate day, and usually it's 2 hours, because we will go at like 2 hours before. We will arrive 2 hours before the closing time, and then we will have like we always leave at the time when the gym closes, because it's just so fun to exercise at the bouldering wall. But the previous session I was doing endurance wall, which is kind of like a wall where like you have more holds and you're just like aiming to transverse around, kind of like sprinting versus long distance running kind of thing. And my hands were just like so tired. Like yesterday when I was climbing, these muscles were like so tired that I started feeling the tendons here being strained. And like this one was really tired too, like these fingers. So if you don't know, like for your hands, there are no muscles here. These are like tendons and stuff. The muscles here are used to control these. So if I press this, you can see it. You can try this on yourself. If you press it, you can kind of feel like your hands are going to close in. Yeah, so like if I press it again. So that's just from pressing the muscles here. So like second finger, third finger, fourth finger, fifth finger. Yeah, a lot of injuries, like if you're not unlucky and like, you haven't been to an accident and stuff, a lot of injuries when it's art related can be directly linked to the tightness and weakness of the muscles in the forearms. So I like to go to the gym to train up my hands so that I can do art without pain. But anyway, I was kind of like doing lots of endurance while I was just so hard on my hands. Probably because I was like maxing out. So yesterday when I was climbing, like whenever I tried to crimp on a hard wall, it's yeah. And like you see a lot of stories of like, you see a lot of artists who talk about like wrist pain or like hand pain or like going to surgery for like problems on your hands. Exercise is a great way to prevent all those things. So yeah, I'm thankful for my physio for teaching me how to take care of my hands, because like doing all these things are very repetitive like so-called repetitive exercises that is not great for your health of the muscles here, which makes a lot of sense, like why a lot of artists have injuries in their hands. But anyway, yesterday I couldn't really climb that much because like it was just like so tired. So you only climb like 1 hour instead of the usual 2 hours that we climb. But then I think I realized that because I couldn't climb that much, that I ended up doing more of my art, which was like this one. I don't know why is it taking so long. So like I ended up spending a lot of time on this one. I always find like it's so cool when the environment fits the scene. And yeah, I think today I'm tired more from mental fatigue than physical fatigue. Because there's also like the usual like stupid intrusive thoughts that gets in the way every day, and that also like whenever I'm more productive with my work, man, the intrusive thoughts are like gets like a buff. Like at times I'll forget like, oh man, why am I so slow at my stuff? Like I didn't really do a lot of work, and then when I'm doing like really hard work, like difficult work, and the intrusive thoughts starts coming in, then I'm like, oh yeah, I keep forgetting. Honestly, I don't really know what to do with this guy, so I'm just going to try and clean up as much as possible, and then think about it after that. Yeah, I really like the progress in that work. I think it's my best hit sculpt to date. Like that girl. It's my best. I think, yeah. It's always cool to see progress. Why is my... Why is the hovering not working? Wait. I haven't watched I think I watched Terminator like a long time ago. But yeah, I can't imagine. Where's the... That is so weird. Wait, why is it blanked out now? Yeah, that's so weird. By right, it should... The brush, what's that thing called? The brush cursor should show up even when I'm hovering. That's so weird. Is this a bug? Because I can only see the brush size. I can only see the brush size when I click. No, why the updates always like this? I'm just gonna assume that's a bug because I don't think I did anything to my file. And this thing... Let me see. What the hell is this, man? Oh wait, no, this is right. Whatever. Yeah. I hope that they fix it soon. It's kind of weird that this bug will happen though, because like I'm using the latest iPad and I would think that whatever they did shouldn't affect. I mean, I don't know any programming stuff, but why would the new update affect this thing, which is, yeah. Yeah, it's so weird. It feels like working on my old iPad again. Like, it's actually a bit jarring now that I'm back to this. It's like, I can't believe that I oh my god. I can't tell what brush size I'm changing to now. If I'm the only one who has this bug, I'll be... I don't know what to say. Oh my god. Because it's interesting how, like, when bugs like this happen, like I would realize like how dependent I am on the new functions, or like whatever function that has bugged out. like on Nomad Sculpt, it's in Nomad Sculpt there's this bug where like I can't toggle the dynamic topology. Like you can see like it's not toggling. So this one is a bug. Like I asked about this and then it's a bug. So I think in the next version it's going to be fixed. But like every time I sculpt now, I need to like click on this and click on this. So it's quite annoying for my workflow, but I guess it's good to know at least that is like a problem on the software side. But like right now, while I'm painting like this, I'm kind of like, because like my personality kind of defaults to like questioning myself instead of other people. And then I'm just like, oh my god, like is this my fault? Because it can't be that like such a default function can be bugged out just from it's like if they change the UI, like the way that the UI functions in a more dramatic way, like let's say if they can keep this stupid tab open all the time, I don't know why like I can't leave it open all the time, then yeah, I guess like it makes sense. I see, compatible. But I guess like the thing that I find strange would be that like why is it that it wasn't kind of like double checked with the new fence? Oh wait, let me see if the new ones. No. Yeah. Oh, actually, wait, let me see. You know what? Maybe that's why I was feeling like something was missing. Oh. Yeah, I think like when I was testing the brushes yesterday, the hovering wasn't working really. Like no wonder it felt a bit like weird. Like I didn't think about it because I was trying like all the new brushes, so like I was quite focused on just seeing like how they look like. But then I think like the other weird part which I didn't think about was that the hovering cursor size wasn't appearing. Interesting, I guess. Like I was completely not aware of it because I was too distracted by like how the brushes were working. Let me see. I guess the lines are still thick. Here things that I'm not sure. I'm trying to match up to this one, so maybe if I go like this size. Well, it's nice to have someone else say that, I guess. But it's not I can live with this, so it's fine. You know, the funny thing is that I used to be someone who like never cared about UI. So what I mean by that is that like when I was working in back when I was still working in visual effects, like we had to use my in-house software. You have to use Nuke. You have to use, I think, those main things. And like, I never complained about the user interface. Like, some people would be like, "Oh, I completely changed my workspace to like fit to my custom needs and stuff." And I was never like that. I was just like, just give me what you have, and then just like open the software, and then like just learn how to use that based on the like the official like key bindings or workspace and all this stuff. Like I never changed anything. So I was working like that for a while. And I guess like I didn't really, oh my god, I forgot. I never really understood like what's so important about personalizing your workspace, which sounds really weird now because like I complain so much about uncustomizable workspace now. But yeah, that was like how I was working for many years. Just using what is already set. And I think like Nomad Sculpt really spoiled me for choice. Because after I tried Nomad Sculpt and then I gradually started adjusting all the different things. And over time I was sculpting a lot. I found like many different things which like I really like for my own workflow. And like it's so nice that even for things that doesn't seem to, like I would think like you don't really need to give the option to customize that. Like on this one, you have the option to like disable the instance like this, or doing like double tap, which I find like these are very useful for me. So you can disable this like that. So this double tapping is really useful. And it's like I only found out about this when I was making my outliner tutorial. So when I found out like there are options for you to even disable these things, which I thought like it doesn't need to be disabled, I was like, wow, this is really cool. Super cool on Nomad Sculpt to like just give you options for almost every single thing. Yeah. That sounds nice. I used Clip Studio like a long time ago, but I remember liking their was it like ink, the line art brushes. I find like those brushes are really nice. Yeah, so like now whenever I work with Procreate again, like of course it's really like awesome that I can use it on my iPad. But at the same time, it's like I don't understand why they don't give you the option to like keep this open, for example. Like when I was testing the different brushes, like one of the things that really annoys me is that every time I click one and then try it out, then this stupid tab will close. It's so annoying. I'm not sure whether, wait, let's see. Can I, wait, can I, oh, never mind. Yeah, I'm not seeing any hotkey available for this much, which I use a lot. So that's still really annoying. Like I don't understand why Smudge Tool doesn't have a hotkey. Oh yeah, there's the G pen. Yes, G pen. That pen is really nice. I wonder how Clip Studio does it so well. You're wondering, are you using Clip Studio on iPad or are you using it on the on PC or Mac? Sometimes I wonder whether or not the pricing for the iPad version is pretty is good for what it is, I guess. Man, it's so annoying when like it zooms out like that. You wonder whether there's a way to disable this. No. Wait. Oh man. Yeah. I wonder if like they feel that the leave it open option is like against their policy for some reason. It's like I can understand why they want the interface to look clean and stuff, but I feel like if you can leave these tabs open, like just one tab open, not even like all the tabs open, it's like I would think that it's not messy. But yeah. Brain is not working today. Yeah, I think I'll want to try Clip Studio again one day, after I learn how to paint properly. Oh, I see. Oh, that's nice. Like that's a really nice workflow. So like the PC, and there's like no problems moving your stuff from the Windows OS to iPad OS, I guess. Maybe there's like a Procreate console and they're like no tabs are allowed or something. I don't know. I don't understand like what goes through their brains. Well, I'm just thankful that at least this one we can take it out. Or else I'm like, yeah, I don't know. Probably can't get much done today, but I'll just progress this as much as I can. I don't know if what I'm doing is correct because it's always difficult to jump between different artworks. I feel a bit disorientated. Guess after seeing this, I'm just testing the different parts in the easier section to see what I need to correct. I think probably I want to move this more to the left. Okay. I think this is better. I'm trying to consolidate my art styles. You know, doing different art styles is like doing a single art style is actually something that I struggle with. Like it's not something that I do it by true intention. It's more of like, I would say it's more of lack of skill. Like when I was doing art in standard schools last time, like art classes, one of my feedback was by the teachers. The art teachers will always be like, Where is your style? I don't sense your style. Look at this other girl who has like a strong sense of style. I like when I look at her stuff, like I know that it's hers. And then I'm just like, I don't know what my style is. But I think because of growing up in that kind of environment, like I think a lot about styles. Like maybe a little bit too unhealthy amount of styles. But yeah, I'm like always jealous of people who like who knows like at a young age like what. Wait, there's something in the screen. Who knows like what kind of style they like and what they want to do. But yeah, doing like 2D versus 3D, I feel like there's such a jump that I need to think pretty hard on like what I want to do between the two of them. But thanks for sharing your like what you do on your workspace, because it's something that I need to remember if I ever get to Clip Studio. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh wait, oops, wrong. I thought the hovering wasn't working, but it was just the brush size was too big. Stupid. Oh, iPad OS. You know what, maybe I should do that tonight. Maybe that's what's causing the Procreate problem. But yeah, I think mine is still old because the new OS has liquid glass, right? So but yeah, thanks for catching this stream, and thanks for subscribing. Yeah, like just now. Wait, let me see. Yeah, it's just big. Stupid. Yeah, I don't understand. Why is it working for this then? Oh well. I am being unreasonable. But you know, like the funny thing about art like you saying the art teachers have to loosen up. I think it was just because I was in a so-called like is it considered prestigious like top ranking, or like one of the, yeah, I guess like one of the, I don't know, are they good like all girls school, and like the standards are pretty high, especially for the art classes. Like if you can't really paint and draw like with acrylic, and yeah, if you can't really paint and draw, like the teachers will kind of tell you to like drop doing art. And then I met my boyfriend who is from an all boys school, who like, yeah, you know what, I think the school like doesn't really matter. I think just what matters is how they treat the art curriculum, the art like subject as art as a subject. And then yeah, like art in secondary school, like that was in Singapore, there's O levels, so I took O levels for art, and it was kind of like it was quite stressful for me, because like I ended up not being able to finish my stuff. I needed help from other people to help me a bit. That was how slow I was. Like I feel like I was just like doing too much for my workload, I guess. More than what I can handle. I did like anime style drawings. Which is funny because like after going to like art school, after that started doing more Western art, and there was like this trend of like anime drawings is bad, it's for kids. And then now I'm back to like anime drawings again because I like it. But anyway, I met my boyfriend who, like, I don't know whether it's like an all girls school or like all boys school thing, and yeah, their philosophy towards doing O-level art was just like, as long as you know how to write like what is the meaning behind your piece, you can get an A. And then I was just like so shocked when I found out about that, like extremely shocked, because in my school it was required that you need to know how to draw and paint too, which is kind of ridiculous actually, because like I don't know, secondary school, you're still such a young age. Like, why is the need to, yeah. And then so like people will be painting. I remember my seniors were painting of like imagine this is a person, she was painting this like kind of hyper realistic painting of like animal bones and whatever, kind of like a still life style painting. It was really nice. That was like the standard at my school. And then I heard like one of the A students in my boyfriend's school was like someone putting a hand on the floor with like rubbish around scattered around the floor as like an art installation, and then there's like a very deep meaning behind what this art piece is, and that person got an A. Like, you know, like the culture shock is so, and like, oh my god. Yeah, very anti-anime. Like, one of the arguments is that like when you draw anime, then the teachers will be like, why are you drawing something that looks so similar? Like, it's like the thing of K-pop faces and people saying that like all K-pop artists look the same, like all K-pop girls look the same. And then over time I realized that actually like people who draw anime are a lot better at subtle differences and doing very good forms, because like just because like they can tell the difference between the characters. And then it makes me question like like one of the teachers, like, is it because he can't see the difference? Made me question about that when I think back. Yeah. But I think probably maybe now there might be less of an anti-anime sentiment, I think. I mean, I would think so, because like anime got so big. Like anime is super popular, so I would think like people are just going, more people. It's not that there weren't people doing anime art in school, but I think there'll be a lot more doing in school now. And I see a lot of really good, man, it's so difficult to see brush sizes. I see a lot of good, really nice student graduation films done in anime style, and so like it's so pretty. So yeah, my boyfriend was also saying that he feels like he missed out not drawing anime, because like I grew up drawing anime, and I feel like that helped me a lot with like making nice feminine proportions and stuff. And my boyfriend say like he feels like if he had just like not listened to everyone like, oh, anime is for kids, then he would have just like practiced a lot and gotten a kind of like a better sense of what is beautiful. Yeah, that's true too. Like, who knows, maybe the old teachers are also like, oh, this anime is so good. Also, the weird thing is that like I don't think this is just, I don't think this is what's that called? Like, I guess it's not, I'm not saying that people who do anime don't really feel this way, but I kind of feel like the Western art side, there are more instances of people like saying, oh, beautiful things are like I don't know, for the non-cultured, like we have to do ugly stuff. And I'm just like, oh my god, it's so ugly. I can't look at. I can't look at this. Like, my eyes hurt. And there was like this sense of like like where are your wrinkles? Like where are your super high definition skin pores? And I'm like, I don't know, like most people do it, like it's so ugly. Also see a pattern that people who like don't know how to draw, like which my boyfriend noticed, like people who don't know how to draw and started drawing like only 1 year ago, 2 years ago, if they started drawing from anime, like their improvement to draw very nice looking things, it's like really fast. Of course it's still individual, but yeah, I just feel like there's so much wasted potential. Yeah, I really hope that people are not finding anime like too kiddie or whatever. I feel like this one is going to be difficult, and it is difficult. So I just do like the base paint and call it a day for this. Yeah, I feel like that's quite true. In some sense, I'm thankful for kind of like the constant like pointing out of my style, lack of style, I mean, because like if I am struggling more than other people to do that, then it is something that I need to work harder on. But yeah, at the same time, it's kind of like I don't know how much of the pressure is helpful. Like, would I have done better if that wasn't a main concern? Or would I have done worse because I'll be like not thinking about it until much later in life? I think that kind of thing it's hard to say. It's like even the thing of like, do I do 3D first or do 2D first? It's like it's so hard to say. Like some people they become good artists because they started 3D first, and some people become good artists because they started drawing first. So yeah, it's so difficult to say these kind of things. But yeah, I would say that I'm just thankful it didn't stop me from making art. I feel like this is my face right now. Like I'm just so tired, I'm so done with everything. And yeah, it's true. Like I find now the more important thing is to just focus on creating a lot more, like just pushing out the works instead of worrying about style. So I would say like one of the things that I'm just thinking, is this nice? I'm just thinking one of the things that hindered me would be like thinking too much about like trying to be perfect with like consistent style and all that at the beginning before I improved my skills. So this one, let me just redo this. So that's kind of the focus that I have right now. I think even for this piece, like, do I like it like this or do I want it to go in? I guess go in. Like even for this specific one, like in the past I would have kind of like spiral and be like, oh man, like look at all these people doing like full color and rendering really well and all that stuff. But then I just realized like it's so, and I'm like, oh, it's not consistent with my other styles. But then I realized that like I'm just overthinking too much and not doing enough. So in the past I would have just like spiral and not finish anything. Like starting a new work is always fine for me. It's finishing that I always have a problem with. So for this specific piece, I have like certain ground rules with myself. Is that I will only have blue and white in this piece. so no like full color, just because I'm not equipped to handle like full color yet. And then just work on like finishing everything, because like sketching out something feels so different from finishing something, like refining the art piece. I think refinement is like a different skill by itself, which I just have never practiced before that much. Like I've done some practice by now with my other stuff, but it's still not enough. Especially when it comes to like personal original artworks, like I just don't have enough practice. So that is something that I'm like being mindful of, and it's been working out really well. Like just, do I want this sharper? I guess it's fine. Like just setting a lot of ground rules so that I can focus on finishing things instead of spiraling out of control all the time. It's like one of the things that I will struggle with too is that like I'll compare my 2D stuff to like people who are really good, and then I'm like, man, I've been painting for a few years and like I never gotten like to those levels. But then now it's just like just don't look at those stuff and just like keep learning. And I think it's been working out. Like I feel like I'm learning a lot more now. Let's see, 1, 2. Maybe this one has to be small. Off-brand pieces. I have so many things in my like old iPad and stuff, like just so many canvases where it's just like sketch, and then I try to refine them, and then they're just stuck in limbo now. So many of them. But I would say like this one is the most that I've progressed so far, just because I put a lot of rules for myself to like not overwhelm myself with things that I cannot handle at the moment. Yeah. I think seeing like these pretty goals and like painting them gives me like 1,000 times more motivation too. And something interesting is that I used to think that one piece was like two, like the same thing. Like One Piece is like so, like the style is not something that I like. But after I got into like learning that anime drawings are so good, one of the manga which I came to realize like a few years ago, One Piece was one of the mangas which I came to realize that it's so like so incredibly amazing. Like I wish that someone taught me like how good it is. And back in secondary school, all like maybe just being in the girls' school too, everyone was into shoujo mangas, like romance. And what's it, like Vampire Kiss? I forgot the name of that the one that everyone was reading. And they're like, oh, handsome dudes. Like, who cares about One Piece? Like, they don't have... Oh wait, I mean, they have handsome dudes, but like everyone else looked weird to me last time. I wish that someone like taught me how amazing One Piece art is. So I guess One Piece is one of those that like someone who don't know better would just look at it and like, oh, like this drawing is so must be like really simple and all that, but it's actually really difficult to do. I wonder like what art style are you doing now? I guess like when I think of people using Clip Studio Paint, like I kind of just assume that they're doing anime style as well. Just because like it's so good for creating really nice line art. And I used to look at Pixiv during like that secondary school art phase, when before like people say like, oh, anime is not cool. I just looking at all the Japanese artists using, which I assume that most of them use Clip Studio, and the way that all the art pieces look was really incredible. Yay! High five! I don't remember how I got into One Piece. Like I just know that my older sister was watching all 600 episodes at that point, and she really likes One Piece. And then when we go to Japan, like she would look for all the figurines, and I'll be like, wow, there are so many boats that you can buy. I think at that time she bought the submarine in Japan. But I think like it was just slowly like becoming curious about One Piece again that like, yeah, I think that's how I came to realize that it's so good. Oh, that's cool. I feel like I've seen, like, I would kind of get what kind of art style you have. Like, I think more and more people are doing that mix of Japanese and Western too. Like maybe because there's more interest in anime recently too. Yeah, it's really cool to see people trying out different things. Like back in art school when we were doing 3D rendering and all that, I think yeah, everyone wanted to do. Back then, Arcane wasn't out yet, but there were quite a few painterly style short films released around that time, and that was like a big inspiration for a lot of my friends and like my classmates. Those who are interested in the 3D. Not everyone was interested in 3D. I know a lot of girls didn't like 3D because it was so like it was too like technical, which I think probably changed like now that Blender is so good. I would think like a lot of girls can get into 3D too. Oh, that's really cool. Thanks for telling me. I want to look up his original stuff now. I'm just thinking like he created the One Piece style to draw every week, but like probably like 99% people drawing his style wouldn't be able to hit that 1 week schedule. Especially me. Yeah, that's cool. I guess around the time I was in art school, one of the bigger inspiration would be Borderlands, because Borderlands have that kind of like comic art style rendering. It makes me feel like when Arcane came out and then people started making all the Blender YouTube tutorials on how to make Arcane style renderings or like painterly style shaders, I was like, man, I wish that I have access to these last time. Cause like Blender was still like a little bit lame at the time. I was still in art school, like 2020 before 2014. Blender was still like the, hey, look at this thing that's free, and they're like, oh cool, we can do this stuff. But yeah, the tutorials online are so good now for Blender. Yeah, the iPad version. But yeah, like just seeing how much manga artists have to do, and like even the Korean manhwas, like yeah, I don't know how they I don't know how they do like 1 week full colored. It's like is so insane. Like right now my brain is like struggling with this just because I was working on that 3D sculpt through the night and I'm like, oh my god, this feels so lame. Like it's quite sad too that like a lot of these artists, like they have to compromise their health to become successful. It's like I love Berserk so much. Like not sure whether Berserk's artist, whether or not his health declined because of the schedule that he had to do last time or what. But it's so sad like these people with such creative minds have to go so early. It's heartbreaking. Oh wow. I've seen quite a lot of mangas where like they'll have coloring assistants. But I wonder like how that works out. Yeah, I can't assume that everyone has like a coloring assistant or something, or someone doing the 3D background. It's kind of funny like how there'll be scenes of like people eating food like in the story, and then like you see like the food is just like super 3D renders of like full plates of food, like spaghetti, soup, and it's like a full plate. And then the next panel will be like, you finish eating, let's go. And then the 3D render is the same 3D render and the food is like still all there. And then in the comments it's like they just threw the food away. I remember one of the mangas, it was like they were like, oh, you're done with this, then like let me put the food at the sink, and then in the sink the food was like still a full plate of spaghetti. And it's so funny. And then people in the comments is like, how can you just throw food away? But like my guess is that they're just so pressed for time, they're just like slapping 3D renders everywhere. PNG drawing. I feel like sometimes the horses can look very scary too. Like if there's a medieval time kind of setting, and then sometimes the horses that is being used looks very demented. And then I'll just like, nothing to see here, like just scroll past the horse. The thing that I find like quite sad, but then it's like it's amusing how often it happens. It's like artists saying like, oh, they have a hiatus, and then they're like, I'm so sorry, like the comic has to go on hiatus because I need to go on for wrist surgery. The doctor told me that, and then they'll draw out like the x-ray, and then they draw out like the doctor, and then they're like writing, I need to go for surgery, I'm so sorry. And then I'll be like, what are you sorry for? why are these people saying sorry? But I guess like the feeling of like, oh my god, I can't keep up the schedule because I need to go for surgery is like, gives them a strong sense of guilt. What's a PU class? But yeah, it's also like something that I only thought about after climbing for a while. So I started climbing wait, I'm trying to think of the timeline. Like I think my boyfriend was like, do you want to try climbing? Like, it looks fun. This was like right before COVID in 2020. There was a new climbing gym that just opened right outside, really close by. So we were like, oh, like why not? Let's try it out. And it turned out that we really like it. But back then, like in 2020, like I didn't know anything about physio and all that. I didn't know anything about taking care of myself. So like I was running a lot. Oh, physical education. I was like, is it something physical? And then like I was running on and off more because of like, yeah, I want to become fitter, like in the usual, like I want to lose weight, I want to get fitter. But at that time, like I was just running, like I was very sedentary. So like a lot of the problems that I have now is because I used to be sedentary, like very sedentary. Like moving was like really, like I just didn't like to move because it's like so tiring. Which like kind of makes sense. Like I was from Indonesia, and in Indonesia, like in the capital of Jakarta, it's not really recommended to walk around. Or I guess maybe like because we have a car, so like we're used to getting around the city in the car. So you spend like on average 1 hour in the car to get to a place, and then we go to shopping malls and then go eat, and another 1 hour drive, and then it's back home, play video games, all that stuff. It's a very sedentary life. And like if you're that sedentary, you're just gonna get a lot of problems in the long run. So like when it comes to running, my ankle tendons, there's a tendon at the back of the ankle, this one that connects to the calf muscle, the Achilles tendon, and there's a whole bunch of other like tendons that go around the foot and stuff. But I was like running, so I was running with disregard of my body's condition from being sedentary all the time, because it's like I'll be sitting down for the whole 2 weeks, and then I'll just decide to go running and like go on like a full-on sprint because I could for like that one day. And it was really not good for me because my ankle tendons were like hurting, and it reached to the point where like I ignored the pain, and then I ran until like my whole ankle was like swollen and red, and it was very difficult for me to walk. Then that was like 2020, and then I realized that there is something called physio and physical education. And then yeah, like my physio was like, your running form is not good, or like you're doing knee valgus and all that stuff. And then I was like, oh my god, I didn't know all these things. Like why didn't anyone tell me all these things? Like the only help that you'll get in like an Asian family would just be like, oh, go to TCM or something and ask someone to massage it out for you. And it's like, oh, it works because it's like instant relief. But then if you do that, then you'll have to like come back like once every week, because like the pain will come back. Like TCM is like they will massage it up for you and then be like, oh, you're so stiff. And then that's about it. So like they were massaging the pain in my wrist for a while. I went for like 3 sessions, but then after that I was like this is not working out. Like the pain goes away on day 1, it comes back on day 3. On day 7 I'm back at the massage, and like it's like a repeat cycle. So like yeah, there are a lot of things that I learned from physio. Something like if you want to run like consistently, you have to make sure that like you do squats, you do lunges, calf raises, single leg calf raises like twice a week minimum, just to like condition your body and to strengthen the muscles. Because like let's say this is your hand, and then you have like muscles here, like these are like your hand muscles, and then it connects to the tendons like this. If your muscles are, if this one is like weak, like and or inflexible, like if you just stress it so much with like either putting too much strength on it or like stretching it too much at its limit, or both of them, then it'll kind of like try to resist a bit, because if it doesn't do that, it's just going to tear, right? But because of that, it will start pulling on the tendons. It'll start pulling on these tendons, and like you don't want to reach a point where the tendons are being stretched out, because it's not what they're functioned to do. The stretching should only happen on the muscles. So like a lot of injuries, especially for artists, would be that these muscles are like in such bad conditions that it starts straining the tendons. And then when you start feeling pain, it will be on the tendons, not really the muscles. So yeah. The other thing is that you don't want to massage tendons. So like usually like, oh, you feel pain here, you shouldn't massage these, because you shouldn't really massage tendons unless you're like a physio expert. Then yeah, they will massage your tendons. But in the most case, like let's say if I have pain here, I'll be massaging these. Yeah, oh my god, so tight. It's so tight. Like after climbing a bit and then injuring myself and then asking my physio, then that's when I learned about like all these and how to take care of myself. But it's really fun. And it's really unintentional, because we only started climbing because we enjoyed climbing. And if my sister didn't find the physio, like because not all physios are good, then like most likely I would have just like climb and got injured, and then I wouldn't know what to do when I'm injured, and then I could have just like easily stopped climbing because I would have like problems on my hands and stuff. Like that could have happened. So I'm very lucky that I found out that there are things that you need to do to make sure that you stay healthy, to do the things that you like. So that's like a big focus for me this year, to make sure that I do the strength training I need to do the things that I like, which is climbing and running and doing art. Let me see. yeah, it is better to not have the pain. Like I used to have pain here drawing, and that was because of like other stuff. But it's like because of doing like hammer curls and bicep curls and stuff at the gym, I don't have the problem anymore. I think it took like a few weeks to deal with the like whatever issues that I have with the exercise. But like now I don't have the pain anymore. So it's super good. Cause like I've seen yeah. I'm really glad that I like there's so much weird information that you can get to, especially when it comes to physical problems, because like people just don't know, and then a lot of the times like the default answer that you get is like, oh, take this pill to help with your like joint pain, or like go and get like cupping and stuff, which can be really helpful for like top tier athletes who are in maintenance phase. But like the problems that I have were just being like too weak and not taking care of my muscles properly. So yeah. This one. Yeah, I would say strength and like mobility. I think through exercise too, like I found, or like seeing channels where people are like professional fighters or professional sports person, then you realize that like, and this like especially this like kind of something very against what I grew up hearing of like oh, people who are like bodybuilders or strongmen, like they're so big, they're probably unfit, and like they're probably inflexible. Or like there's this idea that like, oh, big people are more inflexible and stuff. But if you look at people like, I think someone who I watched recently is Eddie Hall, and it's like just because he's using his muscles at like the different extended positions for like fighting or whatnot, like he can almost do a split. I can only open, like I think the most that I can open is like this much. but like he can almost do a split, which is insane. So yeah, and also like just seeing all the climbers, like they don't really train for flexibility, but then because there's so many moves where it requires them to like be in such weird positions that like these are essentially like you have to be flexible to get into positions. So like you don't really need to train your flexibility if you have been like doing all these things since young. And a lot of them can do a split. Like what I'm saying is that like I really like climbing. I want to do a split one day. Just slowly progressing to that. Like one of the problems the bodybuilder, yeah, I think a lot of bodybuilders, like because of steroids, that if they do it, I'm kind of guessing that if they don't get their blood work checked like every month, that, or like if they abuse it, that they can, yeah, there's like a lot of like unreversible side effects. But I feel like the science for that is getting better now, especially with like channels like RP Strength. It's like it's really cool like to see how like people can do these things in a safe way. Of course not everyone will do it the safe way. Not like I will ever take anabolics, but it's just really cool to see like the fitness space and learn more about that. For like a normal person like me, it's really cool. Oh yeah, I'm not sure that the super flexible person is motion is lotion is like I'm not sure what to think about that tagline. But like something that I noticed too after learning about all these like mobility things is that like I think this would be more of like people growing up in very developed cities, like Singapore would be one, where like people would say, oh, when you hit 60 and above, like your mobility will just be so bad, and it's just because you're old. But then I realized that it's not really the case. It's just because they don't really do strength training and all that stuff. So like when I check like my aunt and uncles, like if they can like on the chair, like imagine this is a chair and they hold the chair ends. If I ask them like can they like do this, which is like a forward squat and then stretch the back like a lunge, and then a lot of them would like even struggle. Oh my god, my drawing is not that accurate. A lot of them will struggle at this position, even like they can't even go beyond this at like this height. And like even at this position, like they are like super wobbly and unstable. And then I realized that, oh, because their quads are tight, their hip flexors are tight, their calves are tight. Yeah. And then I'm like, okay, now I can understand like why old people in the city can't move that well. Yeah, a lot of my motivation in the gym too is just seeing people, like old people online who can move really well. Just because like they have maintained their quad strength and mobility. Yeah. Which is kind of weird because like growing up, like old people like to go to you and be like, oh, when you get to my age, then you wouldn't be able to pick up stuff from the floor. Like stupid things like that. Or like, oh, when you get to my age, you're gonna get yeah, blah blah blah. Especially when like kids come and like tell the adults like, wait, why can't you pick stuff from the floor? Things like that. And then they'll be like, when you're my age, you're going to be the same. I'm like, what the hell, man? Yeah, seeing like people who are over 60 and moving really well it's actually one of my strong motivations to exercise now and do strength training. Like I'm very motivated by these old people. I don't know what the shit I want to do with this. Oh, I finally finished everything. Oh, my brain is so tired. It feels so lame that I'm like so tired from just doing this. But just need to remind myself that I did a lot of work yesterday. Yeah, they're justifying it. You know, it kind of feels so stupid too that like because now the literature, like the science behind strength training is a lot better now, and like there are even studies of like old women who have osteoporosis and things like that being trained to do deadlifts and in a controlled manner with like physical trainers there to help them. So there are like studies for those kind of things, and it seems like even people with osteoporosis and like very bad conditions, they can like get some they can get like some bone density back, things like that. But yeah, so like the science of like no matter how old you are, like you can still get into strength training. It's just that you'll miss out on like the gains that you could have gotten from being younger and having more years of strength training. But it's like when I try to tell that to older people, then they would just tell me like, oh, it's because you're young. Yeah, it really pisses me off. Like it kind of feels like my progress to rehab myself just because I grew up so sedentary. Like it can't, like I know that it's not what they meant to do, but it kind of feels like they are like invalidating my hard efforts to be able to run and climb today. Because like when I started climbing, I started getting like weird injuries too. And that was like purely because I was drawing so much and doing this so much. Like one of the injuries would be that my wrist flexion is not good. So you can see my left side is not that great. My right side is even worse. Like, oh my god, it's so bad. Oh my god, it's so tight. Yeah. It's gotten better though after climbing for a long time and strength training. But yeah, I've come to terms with like, oh, I should just focus on myself, like on my own progress, because that is already very tiring. It's like I have my own shit to do. you can look at like all those. I think someone went into like this place in China called Old People's Park or something, and you can see a lot of them like lifting super heavy stones. And one of the funny things is like you see them, like this is the tree, the branch, and then they hang like a, oh my god, stupid. And then they hang a rope with an attachment that connects to your neck, and then you just see them like spinning from their neck to train their neck. It's so funny to watch. And these are all like really old people. Yeah, that's good. Yoga is good. I have no motivation to do yoga, so right now, like whenever I get problems in my hands, that's the other thing. Like old people give me motivation, and injuries also give me motivation to stretch and do weight training. But like with yoga, like it just remember, like, do not push past pain. Yeah, then you should be good to go. And also doing correct form is pretty important. Yeah, like with climbing too, like I've noticed individual finger problems with my hands. So like yeah. But yeah, like they will hang off like something on their neck, and they will just be like that. It's so funny to see. Like with climbing, because it's so hand finger specific, unlike other sports, it was through climbing that I realized that these two fingers were more inflexible than these two. So that's something cool that I found out and I need to train on, because my muscles here are fine, but these two are very inflexible, like so tight. And these two fingers are also the weaker ones. So like if I just crimp off like one finger like this is definitely weaker than this one and this one. And on top of that, my flexibility for this finger is so bad. Like just doing this right now, I can feel like quite a bit of strain on this muscle, which connects to the fourth finger. So yeah, this is only something that I would know from climbing and just using my fingers. So yeah, I tend to just like rub out like that. But massaging doesn't really do that much. Like it just relieves like the pain at the moment. But most probably for this, it would be to like need something round to like hold a dumbbell. Wait, maybe this is better. To like hold a dumbbell and then go down and up. Yeah, like that. I think from the side view it's like go down and up. And then if I feel pain like here, it means that it's too heavy and I need to back it off to a lighter weight until like it's a manageable weight for the muscles here. So I'm really glad that my interest in climbing has like yeah, it's such a like a nice coincidence that I started learning about all these things because I got all my climbing injuries. And also the coolest thing is that like growing up, whenever people get injured, they just stop doing the sport. And like I think it's a very common thing like for people to say like running is one of the most dangerous thing for your knee. But then after learning all these, then I realized that yeah, like it can be dangerous because you're putting so much load on your quads and calf muscles, but like you can train them. And you can train all these muscles so that you can enjoy the sport that you like. Like I'm not going to stop climbing when I'm 60 or 70 years old. Like, I'm just going to keep climbing. Like I love climbing so much. I love running a lot too, so I'm not going to stop running when I'm 70, 80. I think my brain is kind of like spazzed out right now. Let me see this one. I can do a bit of this before I go. Grip thingy. Also just got this. My boyfriend got this recently to do extensors. I haven't been using it that much, but it does this like that. Then this trains the opening of the hand, which trains the, is this the antagonist muscles? But it trains the muscles at the top. It's also something that I have to train now because like these muscles are quite weak right now for the types of climbs that I want to do. Like you use this a lot to, you use the muscles at the top of your hands a lot to hold like imagine this is the like sloper holds, and then if your hand is like this, oh my god, this is such a shitty hand. But the tendons and then the muscle at the top of the forearm, you need this a lot to stabilize holding a sloper. I think even for crimps too, like you'll need it. Well, this looks like a cute dinosaur. So like most recently I injured this one from doing too many slopers. So I realized that, oh, it's something that I need to train. Which you can train by like doing, like holding a weight like this and then lift it up. And then lift it up again. Oh wait, no. Oh wait, no, it's this one. So the one down is for that, and then the one up is for the weight. Oh my god, I got it wrong. Anyway, if you have a gym membership and then you have like the if you have the cable machine, the one that like straps, and then you can attach many different things. If you use the T-bar attachment, like the straight bar, and then you do like the down one and this down one. I need to do that to maintain my forearm muscles. So that's something that I haven't been doing, but I need to do at the gym. Oh my god, so many things to do. Yeah, I hope that if you like yoga, that you'll be doing yoga for a long time too. I think I'll stop. Yeah. Yeah, it's turning out so well. I have this goal left to clean up, and then the details for this one, and then the rest is like the animals. So making good progress in a short amount of time. But yeah, I didn't plan on streaming for so long, but it was fun having you on the stream, Quanto. So thank you for joining my stream. It's nice catching up to people who have subscribed for a long time, so it was very nice to see you. I will end it here for today, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye. Yeah, hope to catch you again. Bye.